Greetings everyone, hope you're enjoying the video here on things. I'll be coming live soon, just sharing this. Hope you can hear me. Uh, just sharing this on my Facebook. I'm live. Let's see who is joining. Hope you're enjoying the sounds of nature here in this video. Observing without judgment.
Break through the limits of your soul without any fear. Discovering your true nature now, boundless and limitless and timeless.
Greetings again. Here I am back. So I'm not too good at this, actually not good at all, but let's see how it goes this time. So I came back thinking that since this thing started with Derek C in my live stream past one earlier on, um, so the flow is on, and thought of again coming here because I don't think I said it properly. Maybe I missed something or said something improperly in my live stream previous one. So bringing back that what Derek C said in my previous live stream about being blind to the intelligent design, a very good statement made, which made me realize that if if the mind goes after this, what is in the mind that is intelligent, what is in us, what is in our brains that is intelligent. Now, I'm kind of bad at this, so oh, please bear with me here. So, like I said, right, I went on jumping to things, but the knowing. So, I came to this in my previous live stream. I know, and hope this time I can show you again, in other words, in other ways, show you that the knowledge here we've accumulated is not enough and never will be for us. Why? That is because, do you see it? That the mind, like Jiddu Krishnamurti said, is always searching for something more and more and more. bound in time. So that's the dilemma, the tragedy of being bound in time. We never have enough, do we? That feeling of being content doesn't ever come. It's a movement, and this movement in time just is never ending. So I hope my internet connection is working. Yeah, just checking here the sound and all. Yes, it's working. Now the danger of this also to see not uh, the I behind the knowledge, but seeing all this that I've said in time, bound by time. Uh, it's never enough, and we never get that feeling of peace and contentment. Problems arise from here, the mind. And the danger of seeing, jumping to this that, oh, we've missed, someone has missed, seeing the scientists have missed, seeing the intelligence behind the design or the intelligent creator and the intelligent design. The danger is that the mind can come and say, oh, yes, I see the intelligent design here. And what I'm going to do is I will follow this. The mind comes in, and I'm going to make some intelligent things myself as far as I can. Now, the religious person would, you would say, doesn't need all this, but still is working inside, sees the intelligent design and the intelligent creator behind this design. But in blind faith or something, moves on to say that realizes that this behind this intelligent design, there is someone, some divine power, or God, Allah, or Most High, or Yahweh, who doesn't need to work or do anything to create this intelligent design. But it says be and it is, like in Surah Yasin, we are told. And goes on to pray to it, pray to the God, the Creator, and works inside through methods and systems that these religions have given us, calling them divine laws, and to live by that. So the religious person becomes free of all this, like ambition to create, the mind's ambition that comes from the mind to create or to discover something. But it's already here. And this is all second hand. If we say we discovered electricity or we discovered this. So we are second hand behind this discovery. We did not create it. Okay, we discovered it. Still, we are second hand from the creator of all this. Hope you can see this. The religious person says, I'm going to work on myself, follow the rules and laws of my religion to become a better person. And it's a struggle, isn't it? if you've ever done that. So the religious person avoids the mind like this and starts to work on himself, on his manners, on his uh, disciplining itself. I'll discipline myself in time through the religious laws given to me by some messenger, true messenger, or Messiah, and I'm going to work on myself through those methods to make myself a better person. And God will be pleased with me. Or may God be pleased with me. That's more humble. So this happens, and still it wasn't enough for me because the struggle I could see is there, and there is a distance between the Creator Himself and us. And every time we make a move that hurts us or the other person or something in nature, like plucking off a flower, a bud from its plant, is this a did I do for what did I do this? When I know that Creator, shouldn't it be growing on this plant and die on this plant growing? For example, I plucked this flower or a rose to give it to my beloved. I didn't let it bloom at the bud, let's say, on this plant of its. Could I be doing something wrong? Did I separate it from its plant and the rest of the roses? And having faith, professing that I'm a Muslim, and I shouldn't be harming anyone, anything, especially not nature. Also, like, oh no, not nature because I was not the gardener. If I had planted this, may have taken time. Maybe you know, would have asked the flower, the rose, can I take you to my beloved? Will you be happy there if I pluck you from your plant? And the other flowers choose you and take you to my beloved. So this is the way I used to think. I started to think when I was separated after some time, why should I pluck a flower from its plant and separate it? Or we go to a flower shop, we give them money, and we think this is ours now. It's ours. So a sense of this possession, ownership, and all this. And then I also religiously, like some animals we sacrifice, right, for Hajj pilgrimage. Oh, that was too much for me because I was thinking at one time in my life, I was thinking of the flower I would pluck out and maybe buy from a nursery a pot, take a pot to my beloved and buy that and think, okay, I'm the owner now. I have the right to take this pot over there. separated from its nursery. And yes, I've done a good deed. I've paid the nursery man. His business is going. So, this way, I was in this kind of thought. And to think that these religious people who now they have to sacrifice an animal after doing the pilgrimage rites, performing them. And we think, yes, God has told us we need to do this. It is our religious duty. And so in the Quran, the ayats say, put them on garlands, they are sacred. Honor them, honor these sacrificial animals. So I started to go in a search mode. What is the truth? And what this and what that? What is the mind? Sometimes leaving my religion, my religious thoughts, and going in search inside also to find the ignorance or what, so that maybe I can, the action that I do is complete or doesn't harm people in any way or nature or anything, right? So this time I give the example of a flower, plucking a flower out. Next time I may give another example, I don't know. And the religious person sacrifices an animal, he has to. After the Muslim has to sacrifice an animal after pilgrimage, Hajj, Hajj pilgrimage. So, this just made just made me confused and all this about everything in life. What is a human being? What are we? A religious person thinks he's doing the right thing, but he may not be doing the right thing because a Muslim could be hurting an animal, and he thinks he's doing the divine law, right? He's performing his religious duties because Allah has told him so through a messenger. No matter how great that Muslim may be, religiously, as a religious scholar, very knowledgeable, very simple life living, very simple living. But one day he has to go for Hajj and he has to sacrifice that animal. Whereas my love, or something you may say, what aroused this feeling or a sense of conscientiousness that am I doing the right thing by plucking, by going, okay, let's say I don't pluck from my garden, but I go to a flower shop and I get a bouquet for my beloved, thinking I now own this, but not seeing the whole process originally. It was plucked off from its plant, right? Okay, so this is what happened to me, and that got me really like out of balance and thinking and deep thinking and what shall I do? Could this be wrong? Would the plant curse me for this? Am I harming them? Am I separating them from their plant? Would the flower be cursing me for it? Then on and on it went like this, and I may have taken a leap forward and found Jiddu Krishnamurti books and I started to read. Thank God for that. Thank the one who is responsible, the divine, whoever, whatever, however you may call that, whoever we should be grateful to for this. And so I was grateful and lucky to find Jiddu Krishnamurti, his books. So reading, I found out that, from his books, that the brain, the mind, the thoughts, and all right, that I share now. And my own, in my childhood, I used to have these debates inside my mind about things, challenges in life that came, how to deal with them, who's in the right and who's in the wrong, and all this. So that was ongoing from childhood. When I realized, I don't know at what age, maybe 10, maybe 9, 10, or 11, like that. Okay, so that's why I do this, and I got out of this religion also, religious thinking. It's a religious beliefs. Reading Jiddu Krishnamurti, it helped me. I had Dr. Deepak Chopra's book, In Search of God. What is God? That book also I bought in Karachi, but I couldn't understand much, and so I felt I had to search it out myself. Now I wanted to read or buy books on the brain. Where in the brain is that? What is it that we believe in God? Where is the proof for it in the brain about God? So like that, thank God I found Jiddu Krishnamurti. But that was, I thought it was a bit too late, but even then, still, um, in year 2000, somewhere, early year 2000, in Karachi. Okay, so whatever I say or do is also because of my uh, this God-given capacity to want to debate in myself about certain things in my life, and to find on the way these sages and all, and someone like Jiddu Krishnamurti and his books, but not personally Jiddu Krishnamurti, because he was no more in year 2000. Okay, so all this and my own search, and I couldn't rely on religious scholars, like I said in my previous live streams, and maybe a video uploaded on YouTube. I don't know how many, or maybe many videos. Can't rely on religious scholars. This is your life, and you know how to live it, or after your parents, and yeah, the molding by your parents, also the upbringing has an influence on, and our religions and all. So conditioning, thank God Jiddu Krishnamurti had a solution for this, that look at it, it's all what is conditioning in you. And he goes on to show us in the most in with integrity, you know, and consistency. So this what I learned, unlearning everything, just seeing. What I learned from Jiddu Krishnamurti was to unlearn everything and seeing for yourself, finding the truth, whatever you're trying to search for to become, or to become a better person. And yet, he says becoming is in time, and that creates conflict. So, always conflict solving, conflict solving. We have cases like I was supposed to become a lawyer and practice law, so I would have had conflicts, justice before I can give justice to someone to understand what is this conflict, the origin of conflict. So the jurisprudence of law to understand that fully and completely. Then only can I practice something like law and become a lawyer because I don't want to fail one human being or cheat or uh, at someone's expense. So better that I cheat myself as I was cheating myself, maybe living a not a true life. So in search of that true life, true living, better that I cheat myself than another. And it's an incredible responsibility to be a lawyer. In London also, I was telling them that how am I going to do this if a criminal comes to me and they try to explain it? Well, you just have to, it's your duty in law to help. Uh, well, before proving this person beyond reasonable doubts, we say he's innocent unless proven guilty. And what if he turns out to be guilty? So, as his lawyer, I mean, I'll have to admit that his guilt. I found out he's guilty and I cannot. Then I would withdraw from helping him. Or, in fact, I should be able to stand in court and say, Your Honor, judge, to the judge or to the jury, Your Honor, I found him guilty. My client is guilty. Because it is justice we are after. And why are we after justice? So we can give justice to people, to help people. So conflict, I came to the root cause because in eighth grade, my teacher gave us in class from our textbook, English textbook, to read about this. This boy was having a conflict. So, what was the root cause of all this conflict in us? The conflict in human beings. And the solution is through the mind, through knowledge, through light. What light? I asked my cousin, my mother's cousin, do you know do you have that light? He said, light, like what light? Like, that faith, that faith gives you that light to walk in. So life's challenges, the world turns us around and I fall. Jack and Jill went up the hill. I tumbled down. You know, you remember that nursery rhyme? To fetch a pail of water. So even in our Shia Islam, when Hazrat Abbas was asked to go appeal to Yazid's army to get water for the children, thirsty for 3 days now, what happens? He doesn't bring water back. He's injured, then he's dead. He's martyred, we say, the Shias. So being a former Shia, I have to say that out of respect for the Shias. Now, for now. I'm not angry as yet. And so, and also like, what is anger? Will it solve anything? Is this a positive solution to the problem at hand? Or worry, right? We're worrying. Is worry the positive solution to the problem at hand? So, why do we worry ourselves? Or is worrying the solution? Will it find a solution? Or do we need to take action at that time without worrying? So, how to do that without worrying? How to take the right action without worrying, fretting, uh, getting angry about the problem. Spare ourselves this pain, this sufferance, or even when we are in pain, because they say pain is inevitable. So spare ourselves the sufferance, worrying, getting angry. I've told myself, oh, many a times, don't ask me how many times. And I even watched that clip on anger management. I think it was in that movie, the title of that movie, I've forgotten, sorry. Anger management. So I had to go through so many a times I gave God also the ultimatum that, okay, this is my namaz, and this is my prayer, and now you have to do something, and I need to change completely, and you need to give me that grace where I am completely conscious, a conscientious person, and a compassionate person, because I don't want to go doing wrong, and then I had enough of guilt in my life, and I don't want to keep feeling guilty, guilty, guilty. And what guilt does to your inner being, it plagues you. It's very unhealthy. It makes you sick. And with this sickness, you're helpless. You see, you can't from which mind are you going to think, and from which part of your brain are you going to think and take the right action? I tried everything, every nook and corner. Pray to God in desperate situations where I felt helpless. I don't want to harm anyone. I don't want to feel guilty anymore. And let's say, and another thing is that, and it's not only guilt, like, I have a terrible conscience, right and wrong. So if I harm anyone out of this anger and, and I even started to abuse later on in my madness. That was too much. That was too shocking for me. It's like incredibly shocking. I, who never used to harm, abuse people and curse people at the top of the hat, I started to become like those people I judged in the past. So something about my conscience, it started to not only prick me, it started to bang on me, my head. So all this, okay, why I don't want to harm people, not just because I don't want to feel guilty, but because it's not, but because I, it, it's not the right, it's not right to do this. And my conscience will bang hammers on me, not only prick me. As they say, the conscience, doesn't your conscience prick you? So now I tried all religious things, it all failed. And now what happened is I also had this book, Mr. God, This is Anna by Finn. I read that. It was beautiful. The child, how she discovers God and loves Him and discovers things. She's a favorite of God, it seems. Much loved by God, and she loves Him like anything. And in everything, there is a God in her life. But not like a strict teacher master, you know, do this, don't do this, and all this. And she had nothing to do with this. People say shaitan, evil, evil, because she believed that she loved God so much that God in love, it just can't be that there's evil. It's just the ignorance of people. I realized also. So, summing up that book, Mr. God, this is Anna, uh, on this evil part and Anna's relationship with God. She couldn't fathom that there was a evil. Maybe people made mistakes in ignorance or they didn't believe enough in God that they couldn't find solutions and they believed in evil, perhaps. So, another thing was that you don't believe enough in God to think that there's evil here. And you don't believe enough in God's love that you think if in ignorance also you do something wrong, that God would punish you. And that is like people won't forgive you. God, in its generosity, in its uh, all benevolence, love, all loving, cannot harm you. He knows He will only punish you. Or like my friend said that um, another Gujarati friend of mine, older to me, that your mind, how much has your mind developed? So if you are aware of what you are doing and you deliberately do this to harm another, then he will see the level of your mind and your intention and your a motive behind this. But like childlike, if you go somewhere and you hurt yourself or you hurt another, like you get in the way of someone, like to children, you say, "Oh, I beg you, please," even to friends, please stay 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, a little more, 1 hour more. So are we encroaching upon the rights of our friends? Would they feel like she doesn't have any regard for my wishes, my that I want to leave now, and she's begging me and all this like that. No, we our thing was different, and God doesn't punish you for that. The point here was that He looks at your how much, or what is your intention. He looks at your intention. So even if someone is doing, like, let's say, there was a movie, like, even I think, but shouldn't give that example. It's terrible. There was this Pakistani movie. I think Nadeem and Shabnam were in it. Or, can't remember the actor. I think it was Shabnam, and uh, he found Shabnam in ice, in the snow, and she was gone, kind of. And I think what the movie told me at that time is that he needs to do something to her to, you know, give her life. So it wasn't rape, although it was not on her consent. That Pakistani movie, so I was like, what is he supposed to do? And then maybe because when she got pregnant, because they didn't show the whole scene or anything, it was just cut. It was just after that snow, he takes her into his cabin or something, and then then things happen, and from the uh, uh, later on, I find out scenes and all what she says that, oh, he did this to her to save her life. Now, under such circumstances, to save her life, it was not considered rape because her consent was not there, also, right? So it could have been considered as rape. Sorry, excuse me, a sigh here. And then, as a lawyer, if I practice, I couldn't figure out whether this person was a hypocrite or this person and my own close, relatives and all this. So I said, good, very good thing that you have not become a lawyer, that you're not a practicing lawyer. So, okay, all in all, my experiences and things that I pondered over, I felt religion was not enough for me. And even the evidence of science has to unite with spirituality. And why isn't it uniting? Why isn't there this unity? From quantum physics, I learned from Dr. Goswami, Amit Goswami, then, and recently also finding Sir Peter Russell Russell's videos here on social media, Facebook and YouTube. That we cannot some scientists they are not cooperating in the way they should with those who have different thoughts, who are different in finding the evidence or in search of truth, take a different arena, different path to find the truth. They're not cooperating with them. That's so terrible, really terrible. So that's such a tragedy of human beings. And some scientists were told that they work for the state of the country, right? Whether the government, and they're biased and prejudiced, and all they want is money and fame and all this. So we have these people in professions, professional careers, and all this comes in the way our egos and all. So minus, I wanted to like, come on, let's come to the most innocent life. This is such a tragedy. People professing to know things and fighting with each other and having conflicts and all this. Why not in a compassionate manner, understanding hearts come together, cooperate with each other. So then I found out there are also covert narcissists, and there's nothing we can do but to save ourselves from them, like build a wall or run away or escape. I mean, free yourselves, run the other way. You see a covert narcissist, don't try to, uh, you know, try to awaken their conscientiousness or uh, have I said this properly? Or there awaken some feeling of right, wrong, conscience, or maybe a feeling from the heart. You know, if not, if conscience comes from the mind, then the heart, emotionally feeling it. That you've hurt someone, and you need to feel guilty about this. You need to see it and admit it and accept it and change and amend it and change your ways, become more kind, compassionate. Uh, and so becoming. So you see, when Jiddu Krishnamurti told, I read his book and I read becoming and being. You see, time itself, as in thought, the thought takes, uh, you know, goes from, tells us our thought is in time. Jiddu Krishnamurti showed us this. So it is in the seeing yourselves for yourself. Someone, a guide is there just to give you the outline, pointing guidelines, and then you see it. It's not a belief system that Jiddu Krishnamurti was giving us. That same thing is in you and you can see it. That same ability, God given. Oh God. So sometimes I don't want to bring God too early in this stage, but seeing, because in God, a lot of injustice has been made in the belief of God. And with this word also, like I stood there in front of a frame we had in really also. So as I go on, I'll be mentioning my experiences. So at the frame which says Aliun Wali Allah, trying to read it in that Arabic calligraphy form. And I said, like, Imam Ali, there are people, I was told, and I know that some Shias also, they lie. But when it comes to the calling of Ali, Nara Hadri Ya Ali. So I like, you are the truth, right? You are the, I've read now, I've done research, year 2000, it's year 2000. I'm looking at that frame that's standing on my table, round table, and Ali, Imam Ali, and not in any skeptical way, but really serious, like, Imam Ali, you are the truth. How could people lie, Shias, in your name, and then carry on believing in you? And they say, when Rasulullah has said, Oh Ali, no hypocrite will love you, even if you give them the whole world, and no true believer will hate you, even if you behead them, behead him. So I'm looking at it, and this kind of color right here, yeah, in brown, like, or no, golden written, and the frame is like this kind of color, brownish tones and goldish, golden. Right now, I want that truthfulness in me. And how could, and then I realized, like, how could people lie? How could Shias lie? And I was going through, also, I went through a hypocrisy thing, and I was like, from the Shias, remembering. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So, in a great shock. So now it's, I hope I've checked myself, and if any ego thing comes up, because I'm not, that's why I don't, I saw what Jiddu Krishnamurti said. Debates I don't believe in anymore, because I have evidence of that in myself also, that it can get to, ego can come up. And if you've ever read I'm Okay, You're Okay, or the games people play, book books, these two books, you'll know that it's how the other person, if he, the effect, how he treats you, if he's treating you like a child, they say that your child might come up. So if he's appealing to your child might come up. If he's appealing to your parent likeness might come up. Your parent might come up, do's and don'ts. And if he's appealing to your reason, adult, that's the best way to appeal. And so your reason might come up. Your reason will come up. I'm okay, you're okay. And the book, Games People Play, oh my God. So recently I found a YouTube video on that, that humble man. He said, I read this book, although it's very difficult to understand, and he covers a lot, the author of this book, on I'm okay, sorry, games people play. And then there are these games we play. And some of us, do we know we play them? Are we aware when we rape someone for power or whatever, revenge beyond us, and we allowed 11 people to rape her, including ourselves? And these people don't get depressed even. If I go one night or a day in the hospital to see someone, I come back feeling terrible. Although I feel, look, you did a good, like you went and you at least saw them. But in the night time, like, oh my God, I wish I hadn't gone and take a Lexotanol sedative. And no, I can't take this. This is ugly feeling has come upon me. I can't take this. It's too depressing, too depressing. I want to like come out of my skin. It's what do you call that? Ghabrat in Urdu. So what is ghabrat? Claustrophobia, suffocation, hellish feeling, right? So now I might lose my point here. So explaining to you how, yeah, games people play, and so in this I got like this is too much for me in Karachi. Seeing a beggar and a child on the street begging. I was like, oh my God, here are people. I'm in a mobile shop. I myself want to buy the mobile. I've saved money for, let's say, 2000 rupees mobile in year 2000. And the man is saying, you like, okay, but here, like I asked many questions. He never said you ask questions or anything, but I said like in one mobile it's like this, in another ki kya banaya hai, kya hai? Ye bas baji. He told me, sister, they made these things for us to just spend money. एक में सब कुछ नहीं. One camera is better, the other this is better, reception is better, memory is better. Okay. And he's told me, sister, here Pakistanis come and they buy mobiles for lakh rupees. Sorry, there was an alarm, fire alarm. Okay, so Pakistanis come here. I mean, I didn't tell him that I'm an Emirati, but like, and they're outside beggars in defense. We call that khada market. So, you could listen to Neil Donald Walsh. One time he was talking about like washing machine. We are in the same building. What if we share this washing machine? We have a separate room for washing machine. A building, but we don't have to go out even to the washing machine shop and put money in or something. Our building can offer us this and we can share. Like we had it in the hostel. We go downstairs in the basement. We share. There are two washing machines. Thank God. Okay, I've gone down. There's no one here. Okay, I can. Sorry, I had to pause this because of the fire alarm. Okay, so please now back to this. If you, what I forgot, in other words, saying is that there is a danger in seeing the intelligent design from the intelligent design to be going to God. Making assumptions that God exists through the intelligence design we see here, there's a danger. Sorry, I had to pause it again. There's some problem here. Fire alarm going on and off. Don't know what the problem is. So please see the dangers of the mind that says, look at the intelligent design here, and you can then step by step. Okay, bet. What am I saying? I think I should end this. So look at the dangers of the intelligent design mind coming up, and then so we need to see if we say so coming, just jumping to I know, and who just find out simplify and find out I know. So who is the I behind the knowing, and what is this knowing of this world? And okay, so this is wanted to make a short live stream on this. 1 hour has gone by. But I might come back again and try to make a live stream, short one, so people can get this. Sorry for the long live streams again. Thank you so much. I will come back again, try and make a shorter live stream on this.